Good evening, everybody. Hopefully, you're having a wonderful Friday evening. I got a good one for you today. Looks like the Toronto police are under fire after a couple of their policemen parked illegally to go grab a coffee. Uh, Especially when, if you're a driver and you park your car illegally, the ticket pricing for that has gone through the roof. So, I'm not from Toronto. This has nothing to do with me. Though I think this is a very good view of police hypocrisy. So let's get into it.
I got a question for you guys. Are you guys allowed to park in loading zone, no parking, where everybody else gets screwed in tickets? What's that? You don't know. So if I park there, how much would my ticket be? You don't know.
I get where you're coming from. At the end of the day, like we work 11
So,
hours.
you know, don't cops explain to me? Don't cops explain to me?
Would you rather we park?
You guys shouldn't be doing this, okay? It looks really bad. You're brand new.
Should we park
You're
on the
brand new. You're
sidewalk?
right out of the college, so I want to hear from you,
Not
okay?
really, actually.
You are.
So if you didn't hear that, she was saying, would you rather us park on the sidewalk? The lady cop not really picking up what he's putting down right now. The guy's criticizing her about, hey, don't you tell people not to park illegally, except you're parking illegally. Oh, well, would you? And she tells him, oh, would you like us to park more illegally? Shows the states of your cops.
Listen, the optics are horrible for this, okay?
So one
Is
cop
this a
screwed
busy
over. I
street?
get it.
No. Would you rather us park?
Excuse me?
So would you rather us park on the sidewalk and just
No.
those people,
Explain
or
to
in the
me.
middle of the road? Which
Explain to me. You're on cam. Explain to me why you just said that to me. Explain why you
You're
just said it to me.
obviously bitter that somebody you had a bad experience, and I apologize.
And
for that.
why are you saying that to me? Why would you think that? Because I'm calling you out on your.
Have a good day, sir.
But seriously, you guys got to learn, man. You got to respect the public a little bit more. You guys have a really bad optics.
Would you rather me park on Front Street where it's very busy?
I'd rather you park in a normal parking spot.
Okay.
Yeah, just like everybody else has to.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Yeah, use a parking lot. I did this.
I'm glad you find it funny. It's a green light, guys.
Yeah, have a great day. We're not talking.
It's a green light. Get going.
Bye.
It's green light.
Good job.
I am doing my job. I am doing my job.
I said we're doing our job, bro.
Yeah, I'm not your bro.
Focus on yourself.
I'm not your bro. It's a green light. You guys just missed the whole light cycle.
So yeah, and then she just goes to flip the guy off when he's telling her that, yeah, you just obstructed traffic, which is another ticket that a normal person would get if they just stopped in front of a green light. And I got something from Breakfast Television on the same, they're talking on the same thing. I didn't take their video that they posted because they cut up a lot, and to make it look like it was all the guy's fault. And from this video, you could definitely see that the lady cop was like, she did not care whatsoever. She thought she was in the right, all of that. I think the policeman, or the guy cop, he did well under the situation. Probably didn't think they'd get caught parking illegally. And this is definitely sort of do as I say and not as I do sort of thing. And the guy, the film, was totally in the rights to film these guys and say, you're increasing the price of parking illegally on everybody else, except if you wear a badge and you wear a vest that says police, you can park wherever you please to go grab a coffee, which is illegal, but apparently not for the police. It's hypocrisy. And I'm glad that this guy had the balls to call the police out on their shit. And that's not done very often in Canada, and that's just showing how bad it's getting in Toronto. But I'm not from Toronto, so I don't really know the scale of it. If you're from Toronto, let me know in the comments below. Is the ticketing really that bad? Is it just, or is it like this one dude just wanted to go viral and that's the thing? So I also got this video that BT Television, if you're not in Canada, it's called Breakfast Television, did on it, and let's check it out to see what the normal mainstream media thinks of this. And I can tell you, they don't have the same view as I do.
Okay, so that's how it played out. Toronto police say they can't comment yet on specifics, but they acknowledge the officer's behavior was, quote, inappropriate. There's a couple of ways we can go here, Frankie. Where do you want to start?
First off, if somebody comes with a camera, even the first term that he used there, where he was looking about how much am I going to get a ticket for, and it came in, even his tone, wasn't a tone of just questioning and asking. It was a tone of aggression that he came right after them. The Toronto police right now, today, see so much on the streets and have so much disrespect in many ways. And, on the other side, people will say that they haven't really created a good reputation for themselves. That looked like somebody, for me, just trying to get a viral video. And even us showing it and giving it grace today is giving that man the attention that he was looking and seeking to get. And I'm somebody that really is not for that. I know the response from the officer is not the right response. But, the same thing with my son or myself, even in that circumstance where that person is coming at me, yelling at me, and then also saying, hey, you're not even going through a green light right now, because the attention he's taking away from them, it was somebody out there trying to be viral. And I grew up in a time when you respected the police. I grew up in a time where you respected authority because they helped you, not harmed you. And they were in a loading zone getting a coffee. Okay? If they go out tomorrow and help you with that person robbing your home, and they had a little bit more energy because they got a coffee yesterday, thank you.
Well, if that guy gets jumped down the street, he's going to need those officers. Like, let's tell it like it is. Mm-hmm. Like, all of a sudden, you may need them, and it's a valid point. Where do you want to take?
So I just want to give her a quick pause and say, yeah, I grew up in the same place too. Back the blue. Police are all good. Small town. We knew the RCMP there. Played hockey with them. But things changed after COVID. Like, even with even with the RCMP, even with like everything, things drastically changed after COVID and after what everybody saw from the truckers convoy and how much the cops pushed and pushed and pushed and just trampled on our Charter of Rights and Freedoms. I don't know if you guys remember, but they broke inside of people's houses to arrest them because people had more than 4 people inside of their houses. After that, you lose all respect. So it's no wonder that there are people who don't tolerate police hypocrisy anymore. And that's what this is. And these two guys don't see that. Don't see that at least this Torontarian has had enough of the police just doing whatever they want. Or at least the police disregarding the small rules. Because once you start disregarding the small rules, you start disregarding bigger rules. Isn't that what we were always taught when we were younger? Hey, if you start stealing little candies here and there when you're a kid, you start to graduate to little trinkets and then graduate to smokes, right? That's what I was taught when I was a kid. And that's exactly what these police officers are doing. And they think it's okay.
Karen?
Well, I guess the larger context behind this story is just last week, the City of Toronto raised parking fines for offences such as that. Of course, Toronto police have not said how much a ticket would cost a civilian if they parked that way. This is just added context. I don't feel any which way about it. Basically, Toronto police, the City of Toronto raised the fines for nearly all parking offences. Toronto Police Association say that their officers were baited and provoked, and Toronto Police Service says the officer's reaction was inappropriate, and they're investigating the circumstances that led up to it.
One more thing I would like to add, though, too, is if that parking spot put them a little bit closer to their car and they had to respond to a call, then I support them on that.
Especially if it's your call.
Yeah.
Especially if it's your call. I look, nowadays, everyone feels entitled with the phone. It's getting more and more aggressive with each passing day for a variety of issues. I do draw a line at I have a phone, so I demand you answer my questions. They're not publicly elected officials.
And they're saying, you're new.
They're not.
You're new.
They work for people. They don't
Yes.
work for you necessarily, but they work for people. So the I have a phone, you have to answer my question now thing is grating on my last nerves, and it's increasing by the day. So, yeah.
Actually, they do, because they do get paid for by the taxpayer. They have an obligation to answer our questions when asked. Or at least should. Now, we shouldn't go up and bombard them and maybe do it as hostile. Well, I'm not even going to say he was hostile. No, like, what he did was totally in the right. And they're making it sound like he pushed his phone in their faces and yelled at them. And that's not what he did. It's totally in his right to hold up his phone and say, hey, if I was to park like this, how much would a ticket cost me? Especially when, like that woman said, the city of Toronto hasn't told them how much tickets are going to be costing them.
Yes, people just want to go viral for a wide variety of reasons, but careful who you stick your phone in front of, because you might not get it back, and something else might happen. With that said, that's social media 101. If someone sticks a phone in your face like that, to engage them is not smart. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a politician. I don't care if you're an officer in uniform. Any interaction that you give this person is exactly what they're craving and what they feed off of. That was just a really poor decision to even interact in that conversation. Get in the cruiser, go. You have no worries for the rest of the day.
So I think that I will debate that to say that I think that it's easy to say, but if you're at 11-hour shift, you're at the end of your shift, you're tired, you don't know the context of what calls they just came from, where they're at their wits' end, and at that moment this person comes at you. As human beings, sometimes you want to stand up for yourself. It's sometimes hard. It's the right thing to do is to get in the car and go away.
Is it that hard, Frankie?
No,
I know what you're saying,
but I understand where they're coming from.
I
understand where they're coming from.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could say that. I don't. Like to me, if I'm at the end of that kind of shift and I'm that tired, but see ya. I'm in the cruiser and I'm gone and I'm drinking my coffee. I'm not engaging in any way. But that's just me. Clearly, other people are different. Let us know. feedback@breakfasttelevision.ca. That's the thing.
So he'd just show his entitlement and be like, I'm not answering your questions. My coffee is more important than... I think he's kind of missing the plot on... And you can definitely see his arrogant TV self come out with that. I want to say something real quick. I think a good argument for this, like they said, a really, really good argument, is that if they do get a call, then they need to get there fast, and then they need to get out of there fast. But they didn't say that, right? So that could have been one excuse. I mean, that would have been in hindsight, that would have been a better excuse to use. Now, is that still right? My view, not really. But, you could have designated police zones or something like that. And when they said, would you rather us park on a busier lot? Actually, yes, because if you're around a busier area, you'll be able to see more crime and more stuff going on, so you'll be able to intervene in things a lot easier or faster. And with these breakfast television guys, last thing I want to say on this video, at least, they're going on and saying, oh, I had a bad day, or, yeah, I had a bad day, I worked 11 hours, blah, 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 and I just want to grab a coffee, so I just want to park illegally and grab my coffee. Normal people can't do that. Do you think normal people don't work 11-hour days and have a bad day? You think like normal people aren't in meetings for 11 hours where they have to pretend to pay attention the whole time? Do you not think people are in or at work all hours of the day with a boss they hate and a job that just grills them down? And at the end of that day, what happens when they stop in front of traffic and hold up everybody on a green light? They get a ticket by the cops for obstruction of traffic. Did the cops get that? No. So, and this guy, all he was doing was holding the cops accountable. So, good job on him for filming the cops. Good job on him for holding them to account. And other than that, if you like this stuff, please subscribe. That would be awesome. And that's all I got for you today. Have a good rest of your day.